So I think we have just witnessed one of the most unique experiences in the Seventh Circuit for quite some time. Samoa versus New Zealand was the final, 12 points to 7 in favour of the Samoans. So not only did they get themselves their first quarterfinal win since 2013 in South Africa, they then won their semi, they then won the final, and they take out the gold. A very impressive performance with the circumstances. Now we'll get into that in just a little moment. But if you do enjoy this review, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Now we will jump straight into it, or should I say, dive straight into it. This game was a unique one. First of all, we weren't able to watch the first 5 minutes of the fixture. That is due to how heavy the rain was in Cape Town. It actually caused coverage all around the world to cut out. It wasn't streaming on the World 7 Series website. It wasn't on Sky, wasn't in Australia, USA, anywhere around the world. No one could watch it other than the people who were in attendance, and they had to make sure that they were up the top of the stands, or else they were getting very wet. But the start of this match, we didn't get to see it, but luckily there were no points being scored. But by the time the coverage came back, what was just about happening was a try for the Samoans, the first of the match, and that was Fa'afoi Falaneko, the man who nailed the drop kick for the Samoans in golden point time up against the South Africans. He then got himself the first try of the final. I actually said it in my preview. He was one of the players to watch because when you have a moment like that drop kick, it just makes you want to play even better and you feel like you've got all the momentum in the world. And Fa'afoi Falaneko did score that first try. That was in the 6th minute, giving the Samoans a lead of 5 points to 0. The conversion was unsuccessful right at the end of the first half. The Samoans almost ran in their second. I believe it was Tuna Tuitama who was almost able to score it, but they did call it back for a forward pass. My first initial reaction, I thought it was forward. Watching the replay, it was flat, so they could have gone either way. They did go against the Samoans in the end, so that is why the score remained at 5-0 at halftime. And by this stage, the whole near side of the field was just absolutely soaked, and we witnessed that in the second half. There was a tackle made on one of the Kiwis down the wing, and he was almost completely submerged underwater with the Samoan player when the two were sliding along the turf. It was one of the wettest games we have seen in rugby in a long time. But the Samoans, they just kept persevering, kept trying. And then there was the moment for the Kiwis that we thought might have cut the game wide open. Brady Rush managed to break the line, scored the try between the sticks, which then gave New Zealand the 7-5 lead. And then Samoa, they started capitulating a little bit. About halfway through that second half, there was a moment where they took the ball back into their 22, proceeded to kick it out on the full. New Zealand almost got the momentum from that one, but luckily Samoa, each time they made a mistake, normally it was the next phase that they actually managed to make it a lot better. There was another moment when they were 10 metres out from their line. Player tried to keep the ball in play rather than just sliding into touch. New Zealand took it back, but then that very next phase, Samoan player locks himself over the ball and wins the penalty. So heading into the last couple minutes of this game, it was hard to tell which way it was going to go. We did just know that the players were probably going to need to invest in a boat to be able to get off the field at that point. But then the last try happened. Va'a Apilomaleko was off a couple wide cutout passes from the Samoans. He dove over. He got a huge amount of height in the dive over the line, Maleko. But he landed in a spot where there actually wasn't a puddle, unfortunately, so he just kind of slammed down. But he did score it, and Samoa took the lead with only 1 minute left on the clock. And then once again, the coverage got dodgy. There was a last-minute scrum. All Samoa needed to do was feed the ball in, take it off the back, and kick it into touch. And then right as they're about to go down in the front row, coverage gone. No one gets to see the finish other than the people at the ground. But we knew in the end that Samoa had got the job done. I actually mentioned it at the time on my stream as well. That's a moment that so many people watching from Samoa, watching all around the world, would have been waiting for. That final whistle to see their side finally reach the mountaintop, and it was taken away from them because of unpredictable weather that did happen in Cape Town. And unfortunately, the coverage, I hope they've got an angle of it somewhere that the Samoans are able to enjoy, because there would have been so much excitement from this young Samoan team who are actually top of the World Series table. So heading into Hamilton, they will be the team to beat. I cannot wait to see how it does end up going. But thank you all very much for tuning into this review of the match. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be covering plenty more sevens in the future on the channel alongside quite a few other sports as well. But congratulations to Samoa. They've thoroughly deserved it. I'm glad they got over the line, and I can't wait to see what is next for them. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.